People who asked for a pencil every single day in school. How is life going for you? My collection is nearly complete. Now they're asking for phone chargers. I'd love to give you the long version. But my phone's about to die. Can I borrow your charger? I became a nurse. Now I ask for pens instead of pencils, and other nurses hunt me down if I take their pen. So, my best friend did this. We are both adults with jobs now. I asked him the other day if he remembers a pen, and he said his coworkers had gotten together to give him a humongous pen stand stuffed with pens to stop him from asking. I have a sewer in my office that is full of pens. Pencils, markers, highlighters, low-temp Sharpies, etc., etc. Anyone can access it that needs one. I also have a secret drawer that only I can access really well. Now that I'm an adult in control of my environment and a budget, I can keep a small drawer on my desk that's dedicated to stationary utensils that work. I've also learned that supplies aren't expensive or hard to get. When I used to assume that people who were fully stocked had some sort of special access to things like teachers, same for things from the pharmacy. Like band-aids and batteries and eye drops. So now I'm the person with the odd thing you need when you don't know you need it. And it feels good, man. I will write it down if you give me a pencil. I chose to study computer science. Losing a laptop is much harder than losing a pencil. Deleted. The pencil mafia wants me to pay up. They have my family. Send help. I'm okay. Still disorganized AF. But I've learned to maintain stashes of pens, paper and other necessities in every single bag, pocket or drawer that I own. Some of which I have even bought myself. I was that kid. I had friends tell me, "My dad says I can't lend you a pen ever again." Teachers would sometimes out me to the class for being irresponsible. None of it worked. I was dumb and not wired for planning ahead. I also used to carry my books, jacket, lunchbox and backpack separately, in a rush to the car bus next period. Now I'm a trial attorney and fortunate to be busy. But man, that was a long road. I fear my future kids. It's going pretty good. Really. Still ask for a pen most days and even return it sometimes. So I guess I've grown as a person. I am a software engineer and I still ask my coworkers for a pen when I need to write something down. With the pencils I have collected throughout the years, I have amassed enough to trade them for a house. Now I am a special ed teacher, teaching kids who lose their pencil 15x a day how to remember their pencils. Is this karma? I'm currently trying to figure out how to be responsible enough to be independent. I married someone who always had spare pens. We find each other. Once knew a kid who went through her entire schooling life without owning any exercise books or a pencil case. She used to ask for a spare piece of paper and a pen every lesson. She's also one of the smartest people I know and still managed to dukes our year in most of her classes. To this day I still don't know how she managed that and where she kept all the information we learned in class. It's insane. Turned out okay somehow. Thanks for asking. I'm a carpenter now. And I still forget my pencil some days. I asked for a pencil very often. I grew up very poor and I could never ask my parents for something like pens or pencils. School was hard. I was kicked out freshman year for bad grades. Sent to continuation. Kicked out of continuation and then continued adult education. Life was tough. I now work for CA Department of Corrections. And I make plus 100K a year. My kids will always have what they need. And some extra for others. I absolutely hated having to lend my pencils out and never get them back. I grew up poor, so it wasn't easy to furnish those to begin with. Eventually, I would only buy 2 mechanical pencils at the beginning of the year and leave one at home and carry one in my backpack with me. That way when someone asked if they could borrow a pencil, I could say no and not feel guilty. I'm a stripper. I couldn't even remember to bring a pencil to school. I obviously wasn't cut out for a life that required a lot of responsibility. I'm an independent contractor, so I can show up to work whenever I want and don't have to remember a schedule. Plus I can get drunk at work. No responsibilities. Perfect. I'm an accountant. Thank God all the work is on the computer now. Elementary school teacher. No, I won't lend you a pen because you won't always be able to rely on others for these things. My boss on my first day. Here's the supply closet. Just let Gail know if something starts to run low so she can order more. I only did it to annoy the shit out of this one girl. 2ND hand pencil vendor. Once I kicked the Xanax habit, it got a lot better. Bought a 20-pack of Ticonderogas 3 years ago. Haven't asked for one since. For me it switched from pencils to lighters. I am sorry friends. In India we had this very lame thing, which was if you asked for a pencil the other person would say, Teri Shadi cancel. Meaning your wedding's cancelled. So answering your question. I guess they are all single with 10 cats right now lol. IDKY I am sharing this but it just reminded me of my childhood. Area man asks to borrow neighboring job applicant's resume. Not me. But my best friend. Since middle school. His family had financial issues and he had a pretty bad relationship with them. To the degree where he would be afraid to ask them for any money or school supplies. I think for a solid 5 years I'd always have an extra pack of pencils on me that I would share with him. Him and I both made it into the same med school 3 years ago, and since he's been taking great care of himself. Has a job. And made it a habit to always have those mechanical pencils in his dress shirt pocket lol. I'm very proud of him.